Hello, Starknet Fam. How is it going? Welcome to another episode of StarkStream, your weekly show about the Starknet ecosystem, where we recap some of the most important news that's happened during this week. And well, guys, first of all, I apologize for anticipating this live for a couple of hours. But yeah, to be honest, I didn't sleep very well today, and I'm not feeling at 100% of my shape. So I wanted to do it to do the show as soon as possible. And also we have a lot to cover because we'll be speaking about the preparations about the Starknet token launch that is happening very soon, as far as I understood. And then on top of that, we'll also be playing an interview, a very interesting interview that I recorded yesterday with Park, founder of Haiko, which is an AMM that launched on mainnet last Monday. And then we'll also be commenting other news, our usual Starknet Gaming magazine, and therefore we have a lot to cover, and that's why I wanted to anticipate a bit the schedule. So thanks a lot, and apologize for the disruption. However, you can watch this stream whenever you want on replay on YouTube. And yeah, so let's set up all the equipment we need for this StarkStream. In the meanwhile, let me say hello to some friends. Hello, Gochole. How are you, my friend? So let's get started. Okay, I think this one. Okay, so let's start with this window. So guys, I was saying that there are a lot of preparations for the Starknet the Stark token launch, and last Monday there was also the last stress test. I think the last pre-Stark stress test, and it went smoothly. So we also saw that many other projects such as Argent, Bravos, Nostra, Avenue, they are all pre-listing the Starknet token for their own products, and you can import. I think you would just find the Starknet token ticker on your Starknet wallet. Then you will also see some pools, in some AMMs, such as the one for Nostra. Then there's also I think the pre-listing in the Avenue DeFi, in the Avenue aggregator. Therefore, this means that the token launch is not that far. It should be a question of a question of time, of weeks, of hours, of days, who knows. But yeah, it's not happening today, I think. But yeah, definitely, it should happen very soon, and we are all excited for that. And yeah, as you could know, I also published a history thread about the Starknet BT history, where BT stands for before token. And I recapped some of the most important ages, events, and trends that happened during these 2 years. And so I also listed some ages in a fun way. I took the time ages and I personalized them with the Starknet team. So for example, you have here the Paleo Stark age, which is when the Starkware company was created, was funded back in 2018 by Eli Ben Sasson, Colony, Uri, Alessandro Chiesa, and Michael Yapsev, and also they started developing ZK Starks. Then there is the Mesostark age, where Starkwell launched the StarkX scaling engine. Thanks to that, projects like DYDX, Sorare, Immutable, Diversify, now Renofy, deployed on StarkX, which was also, like, I remember, was one of the first scalability solutions where you could experience, that kind of it-aligned L2-like vibes that we are experiencing, nowadays. But obviously, there were some centralized parameters, but still, transactions would settle on Ethereum in the end, and transaction costs and speed were very, very competitive at that time, also because the L1 was getting very congested, so it was a sort of ancestor of the L2s. Then we have the Starklytic age, which is January 2021, during the first half of 2021, where the Starknet roadmap was announced. So the Starknet project, the Starknet vision was announced. Then we also had, the Starknet alpha testnet, which was a very basic and minimalistic testnet deployed on 2021. Then we have the Starkcopper age, where the second version of the Starknet alpha testnet was deployed, introducing more features. And then in November 2021, Starknet alpha was deployed on mainnet. Then we had the Star Bronze age, with further further concepts being developed, such as the one of recursive proofs, so the birth of the fractal scaling L3 concept, and related to Starknet. Then also the first Starknet wallet launched in December 2021, and it was like Argentex by Argent, and also the first app deployed in December, and it was a Brick. Then we did we went through the Stark Iron page, which is also the Stark Iron age, which is also the age where we began being active in Starknet as Nurstar. As the Nurstar community, we wrote our first recap in March 2022, and in January 2022, the version 0.7 of Starknet Alpha came in, and that added support for long-awaited block number and block timestamp system calls, so new features. And also, the first wave of dApps started building on Starknet. Alpha Road, which is the ancestor of Avenue, Astrali was a launchpad. Now the team is working with the Pragma project. On the Pragma project, it was Magneti, I think ancestor of Stark and DeFi, and then there was also like StarkSwap, Jedi Swap, zkLand, and many more. Starting building, on that period. And then, the early Cairo age from April to October 2022, the birth of the Stargate Bridge, the Starknet version 0.9, 0.10, and also the My Bravo Starknet wallet launched. So the second wallet launched, and it was also the first wallet to implement the mobile version. And then also the roadmap for the Cairo 1 and the Regenesis was disclosed, and that brought us to the middle Cairo age, where the governance structure of Starknet began being thought of, with the birth of the Starknet Foundation and the generation of the Starknet token on the Ethereum L1. And also, the process to open source and deploying a Cairo 1 started. There was the introduction of the Papyrus full node by Starkware, and also the Cairo written Kakarot ZK VM was born during, if I remember well, the ETH Lisbon week in November. And then we also had like the Stark Gallicum macro age, which is basically a macro age from 2021 to 2023, but we could also consider it still ongoing, which is like basically I joked a bit with the fact that, good and who's been like the head of the ecosystem until yesterday, basically, because now is becoming the head of product. And congrats to him for the new role, and thanks a lot for everything he did in the ecosystem leader position. And also congrats to Abdel, who's taking over the head of ecosystem role. I'm sure he will be doing a great job, and I wish both of them the best of luck and success. And yeah, I joked basically on this very like French centric ecosystem, in the sense that we have a lot of French builders and French users on Starknet. And I said like that, good Luis onboarded half of France on Starknet, and also like Abdel became the Starknet exploration team lead. Also, the first Starknet CC happened in July 2022, second one in 2023. Also, Silv, I joked that like I was crowned King of Vibes, won the first King of Vibes, King of Starknet Vibes, the first. And yeah, I just joked and I posted Asterix and Obelix picture with the Starknet logo on the shield. Then we moved into the classical age, where the Starknet sessions happened in February of 2023. Also, the big Cairo 1 migration began. The Juno node by Nethermind was introduced, and also later in the year, during June, July, Starknet and Class Lambda shipped the Quantum Leap upgrade that improved the performances of Starknet a lot. And yeah, there was also the genesis of the Dojo on-chain gaming engine, which also kicked off the Starknet gaming revolution. A lot of games being deployed and being built on Starknet, the Dojo Game Jam, and all the Starknet big hype. Also very good games such as Influence and many also talented key opinion leaders in this Starknet gaming microfield, I would say, in the sense that it is also developing on its own. And yeah, that's very cool. Then there was the Starkival macro age, where hundreds of dApps deployed their alpha on Starknet, and also eventually their fully operational mainnet on Starknet. Obviously, I can name all of them, and I just said hundreds of dApps because that's the truth. And also the mother Starknet sequence was invented and was developed, and that kicked off also the upchain revolution. So the like the practical deployment of the L3 fractal scaling into practice, thanks to the mother Starknet sequencer. And there was also the development of the first Cairo written ZK powered machine learning models with the Giza's framework, so with Giza's project and its Orion framework. And then we also saw so many Starknet hackathons happening in the most important Ethereum weeks that happened all around the world, and also like online, a lot of online hackathons as well. And then the age that we are in at the present moment, which is the when Rena Star counts, where we saw the open sourcing of the Stone Prover, lots of Starknet meetups around the world. I would also add lots of other dApps being deployed on Starknet, lots of partnerships being done, and also obviously the latest v0.13 upgrade that paved the way for v3 transactions, and also for the Starknet token to be used as a Starknet as a gas fees token together with Ethereum once the Starknet token goes live. And obviously, last but not least, the whole when Starknet mania, which is going to its climax, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this thread, and I came up with this idea, and maybe I will also make an article out of it with also implementing more facts and more events, because obviously I missed so many of them, and yeah. Then we also saw this week some news about the Starknet roadmap for 2024, and yeah, there's a lot of discussions around the blob era, the IP 4844, how Starknet is preparing for it, and also yesterday Starknet published. I think they published the Starknet roadmap for 2024, and yeah, so Denkun is happening in March, and we'll be seeing also a lot of developments related to it on Starknet. But by the way, that has nothing to do with the Starknet token, because actually, obviously, there's a lot of misinformation, and people think that seeing that the Denkun is happening in March, also the Starknet token will happen in March. Could be, but I mean, the two things are not related at all. And yeah, as I was saying, also Abdel is starting to Abdel and its team, they're already experimenting with the blob stream, with the blob space. And also Starknet published an article about how to Starknet published a proposal for the Starknet staking process, where they also talk about possible inflation mechanisms and how to tackle inflations, how to regulate inflations, and staking rewards. Very interesting piece. And then yeah, so that's all for the for the Starknet ecosystem, like Starknet infra and also Starknet token related things. I will close it saying, yeah, that's the big day is coming. Yeah, I don't know when, but yeah, I feel it's coming very, very soon. And yeah, hopefully we'll make a live stream once the news comes out, and we'll also we try our best to bring some guests on board and discuss the big breaking news. But yeah. So having said that, let's move to the interview section of this StarkStream. As I said yesterday, I had the pleasure to interview Park from the Haiko team. And Haiko is an AMM, a next generation AMM that is being deployed, that is being built on Starknet. They used to be building, the team used to build a product called Sphinx, which was an order book, and they rebranded the project and also redesigned the project into a next generation AMM, and yeah, they're also running a points program. They deployed on mainnet last Monday, and yeah, you will be hearing more about this very promising project and about its team and its community program in the next half an hour, because the interview will last for half an hour. And yeah, so enjoy it. Mark, welcome to the StarkStream. It's a pleasure to have you here. How is it going? And first of all, congratulations for the ICO's mainnet launch. And yeah, welcome.
Thanks, man.
How is it going? That's great.
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, thanks,
Cool.
Nurstar. It's great to be on the stream. I think for the first time. So we've kind of spoken before, but thanks for inviting me and having me on. Really appreciate the opportunity.
My pleasure, Park. It's a pleasure to have you here, and looking forward to chatting with you about Haiko. And for those who don't know it, Park and his team have been building on this AMM like for a year, for over a year, under the name of Sphinx. And they recently rebranded it, and they also shipped their mainnet like 1 week ago. And yeah, therefore. I would like to know something more about Heiko and also about Park himself. So let's start with an icebreaker about yourself and about the vision behind the Heiko AMM. And also, yeah, we'll also share your screen later on so that the users can also have a visual idea of what Heiko is doing.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, happy to do a quick intro and then jump right in. So I guess for everyone tuning in, I'm Park. So I'm the founder of Haiko, and Haiko is a new AMM focused on LP strategies that's just launched on Starknet mainnet this week. For myself, I've been, I guess, in the crypto space since 2017 now, and then got interested in Starknet late 2021. Before this, I used to work in TradFi, but then quit to retrain as a software engineer. And as Nurstar said before Heiko, I worked on another proof of concept project in the Starknet ecosystem called Sphinx. It was kind of like a cross-chain order book settled using storage proofs. We partnered with Herodotus to support that. We actually built up quite a bit of initial traction after launching from the hackathon, but ultimately decided it was kind of too early for that concept. But yeah, it was fun building in Cairo Zero back in the day. And we've definitely snowballed some of the learnings from that project to work on Heiko, which is the current AMM project. So I would say it's been quite a journey to mainnet launch this week so far. Right. So I guess like what is Heiko, right? Like why is it different from other AMMs that are live on Starknet or on other chains? Uh, to set the context here, basically we need to just kind of talk about some of the problems that are common across all AMMs. So firstly, when we talk about AMMs, these are broadly fall into two groups. So you have kind of the Uniswap V2s of the world, which are just really a uniform pool of two tokens. Everyone provides to the same pool, and you don't really have much choice there. And then you have the Uniswap V3 type pools, which have this concept called concentrated liquidity. And basically, what that means is, as an LP, you can choose to deposit to specific price ranges and concentrate your capital around the market price. So in a way, it's more capital efficient. But one thing, or rather, one common misunderstanding with V3 is it's not necessarily an upgrade on V2, right? So uh, actually, like first of all, like building the right mental model for how a V3 AMM works is just really tough. Like it's fundamentally different. And actually, like when we were building Heiko, thinking about how to show this intuitively at a UI level, like was actually quite a big challenge. So with V2, you really only have two actions, which is deposit or withdraw. Like I'm adding to the pool or removing liquidity. Whereas with V3, you're having to think about all kinds of things like price ranges, whether your liquidity is active, and so on. And so it's actually a very different user experience from V2. So this is kind of the first point here. Like concentrated liquidity AMMs have pretty bad UX, at least compared to V2 pools. On top of this, you have another effect, this sort of LP effect, where if you look at the data, the majority of LPs actually lose money on AMMs, and this is the case for both types of AMMs. The reason for this is actually pretty simple. So, I guess the reason is like market making is really tough, and that's why only a handful of big players like Jump, Citadel, these guys can do it really well. But if you think about like an average DeFi user who's just trying to earn some yield on their ETH, right, or similar, this type of active LPing actually carries a pretty high risk. You can get arbitrage, you get front run, or like traded against in some other way. So if you have kind of like a static pool of liquidity there, and it's constantly being traded against by more informed traders, you can imagine that it's very hard to do this profitably. So to summarize, like these are this is the problem. So you have two effects. Like one is AMMs are complex, especially in a concentrated liquidity setting. And then the second is AMMs lose money for LPs, right? So what is Haiko? Like, how does it solve this? Basically, Haiko is a concentrated liquidity AMM at the base level. So it starts with something like a Uniswap v3, but it integrates a new layer on top of that called these things called strategy vaults. That's the layer we add. So what exactly are strategy vaults? Basically, vaults are you can think of them as special sort of managed pools where you deposit to a vault, and the vault will automatically update the lower level liquidity positions in the AMM itself. So rather than manually, placing and updating positions, you're essentially depositing to a strategy that manages it for you. So the effect of this for the end user is it kind of simplifies the user experience because you're only interacting with the vault. So suddenly it feels a lot like a V2 pool. But at the same time, it increases or improves the efficiency of the capital that's deployed because you still have the benefits of concentrated liquidity. You're kind of rebalancing at the right time and so on. So this is the rough framework, and just diving a little deeper into why vaults are needed in the first place. Like, why is this better? Well, one thing is, it turns out that most markets actually trend over time, right? So if you look at most kind of pairs out there, it doesn't have to be crypto. It could be traditional financial assets like gold or whatever. Like these assets tend to trend over time rather than stay in a range. So if you want to take advantage of concentrated liquidity, a static position normally just isn't really good enough because prices move out of range and you stop earning fees and so on. And if you look at the numbers, most LPs actually mistime their rebalancing actions. So what Vaults does is kind of abstract all of this away from you and lets you focus on the higher level strategies. So, as an LP, do you believe that the market is trending up, down? Is it becoming more or less volatile? And then how do you want to deploy liquidity in response? So, yeah, kind of summarizing the point made. The idea of Haiko is it's an AMM at its core, but for everyday users, it kind of removes complexity, right? Like it makes it simpler, it automates things. And then for more advanced users, it's a new way to define custom strategies and more sophisticated strategies on top of a regular concentrated liquidity AMM. So let me pause there, Northstar, and hand it back to you. Do you have any questions at this point?
Well, first of all, thanks a lot for such an amazing introduction of Aiko and its structure, and I'm really impressed. Maybe a question came out of my mind when you were explaining the fact that these strategic vaults are managed like automatically. So my question is, are you using some kind of AI tools such as the Giza's Cairo written machine learning models, or like is there any liquidity pools expert having a look at this vault, or it is a combination of the two?
Right. Yeah. So the cool thing about vaults is it's more of a open framework for building strategies. So there aren't a set number of strategies that we can build. Actually, each strategy is just a smart contract that interacts with the AMM to update and place positions. So you can think of this as something like a programming language, right? So you can write custom logic to update positions based on the volatility, maybe like price movements, trend data. And in fact, the more data you have, the better the strategies become. So I think the example you mentioned with Giza is really interesting, right? So you have on-chain machine learning models that could be used to process the data and then power these strategies. I think that's a great example of a use case. We use a lot of price feeds from Pragma, who's the main Oracle provider on Starknet, and they're planning to again like bring on more data on chain. So I think this again like something common with DeFi building blocks is everything speaks to each other. So really, you can build any strategy that inputs custom data and transforms it in again custom ways. So the design space for this is pretty large.
Very cool. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how you also collaborate with this kind of AI tools, and also I'm also curious to know how the the Pragma oracles verifiable. Also, do you also use the verifiable random function, or it's just uses their oracle data? How does it work?
Yeah, I think they have a VRF live already. So far, we're mostly using the Oracle data. So we the first strategy that we have live looks at the current Oracle price, and then it will place positions based on that. So it's actually a very simple strategy. It's kind of placing two positions, your bid and ask around the Oracle price. I think the VRF is an interesting one. I hadn't thought of a use case for that yet, but they do have other computational feeds like implied volatility feeds. I think they're soon adding things like EMA and like MACD. So I definitely think there'll be interesting strategies that build on top of these other feeds. The VRF could be one way to switch strategies or kind of allocate between strategies so that you're more unpredictable, right? You can't be gamed. I think that could be an interesting way to use that. But I know they're going to release more feeds soon, and it's exciting to see what we can build and other people can build on top of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see what our friends at Pragma will be shipping in the future. And yeah, Park, you can also continue with your slides if you want. And then I also know that you would like to transition about the more practical side by showing also your website and so on.
Sure. Yeah. So I think on the slides that's pretty much it. I guess just to wrap up, I'll reiterate a couple of the key points. So the first one is, V2 and V3 AMMs really are different products. So I wouldn't say V3 is a, I guess like a unilateral upgrade. I would say it's a trade-off, right? So it's a little bit more capital efficient, so you can make more profits. But there's a trade-off in terms of usability and UX. So what we try to do with Haiko is kind of move the quadrant here and make it both more profitable through better managed strategies and positions, and then also more usable because it abstracts away some of that underlying complexity of rebalancing and so on. So yeah, I think this is the sort of main points I wanted to explain here. And yeah, with strategies, I think there's only one out right now. We're working on more, but I think as more of these strategies get built out, it will be a kind of rich ecosystem where LPs can pick between different strategies, maybe build their own, customize their own, and really try to like capture the best market alpha and then share it with other users. So I think that vision is what's exciting for me personally with Haiko.
Yeah. What about having a look at the Haiko's website, maybe?
Right. Yeah, let's switch to the website. So it might be useful for people visiting us for the first time for me to run through a quick demo. So let me switch to
Sure.
the screen. Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes, we can.
Great. So just explaining the interface quickly. Unlike a regular AMM, we've split the entire interface into two modes. So there's the LP mode where you can place positions, and then there's the trade mode where you can place swaps, also limit orders. So the separation just makes it a bit clearer, so you can perform actions depending on who you're coming to Haiko as. On the positions page, you'll see the two main types of ways that you can place positions. So range positions is probably what you're used to as a LP on another concentrated liquidity AMM like Uni v3. So here you can see your positions. You can see whether they're kind of in range or out of range, collect your fees, and so on. For beginner users, it might be easier or simpler to deposit to a strategy vault. So strategy vaults are what I mentioned in the slides earlier. They are sort of like a structured product that will place and update positions according to changes in market conditions. So in this case, you can just deposit to a vault, right? Like select an amount, and then hit confirm to deposit. You might not be able to see the pop up because I'm only sharing the screen. But this is sort of like a simpler way, I guess, to LP on the AMM and have it automatically managed. Of course, if you prefer the customization of placing manual range positions, you still have the option to do that. And then quickly on the portal, I just wanted to show this page as well. This is sort of our V1 or alpha of the community platform, where we and other strategy builders will be able to list strategies for other LPs to view, and then in the future fork and build on top of. So you can think of this as sort of a homepage for Haiko LPs. And then to view a strategy, you can click in and browse the repo. And of course, if it's public, you can view on GitHub. For developers who are interested in strategies, you can actually click on Build Strategy here. And what that will do is take you to this page where you can click Clone Template to open up the link to our strategy template on GitHub. And this is a starter sort of repo written in Cairo, which kind of walks you through the structure of a typical strategy and how it interfaces with the AMM. And yeah, you can start building a strategy on top, maybe grabbing one of the Pragma price feeds we talked about earlier, or even integrating a Giza machine learning model. So this is again a sort of V1 of our attempts to open up the strategy building side. We're going to build out this side of the platform much more as mainnet stabilizes and we start releasing more features. But yeah, we hope more developers and builders will come and build strategies with us. Very quickly on the trading side, so this will be similar to what you're used to on another AMM. To swap, you just select a token pair, and then you can place swaps. Just one note on the chart here: we've included price data from Binance actually, so from a centralized exchange, and this might be a strange choice to some of our users. But the reason for that actually is we wanted to show the most relevant price data before there's enough trading volume on our own AMM to populate prices. And over time, as we transition to using aggregators and so on, we build up our own trade volume, we'll kind of show a proper price chart. The second order type here is limit orders. So what you can actually do is place a limit order on the same charts. So actually, let me select a different pair here to show this. So you have, a price chart, and then you have this purple slider. So this you can actually drag to select a limit price. So let's say I wanted to buy 1 ETH worth of, I wanted to buy 1 ETH with USDT. I can select a price and then hit place. So what that does is instead of swapping directly at the current market price, I'm placing a limit order to only execute when the price hits the desired price I want. And yeah, this is just another more precise way to for traders to maybe gain entries to the market or time exits, or alternatively for LPs to build more complex and expressive liquidity positions. So I think on regular V3MM, you can do pseudo limit orders with single-sided liquidity positions. This is similar, but a form of more like knockout liquidity. So once you get filled, it actually removes the liquidity from the pool, meaning you don't have to go back and check every 5 minutes to see if you get filled and then remove it. So yeah, we're offering this feature already. You can use it for either trading or LPing, but it lives in the trade page for now. I'll pause there, Nurstar, and hand it back to you quickly.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Well, I mean, I'm really impressed, and I find a lot of very interesting features, such as also the option to switch back or like to add liquidity using the more traditional V3 range positions in case you also want to do both things, both exploring the strategies, but also providing liquidity in a more accustomed way, something that users are already used to. And then I also like the limit order functionality. I suppose that is something that you inherited from the Sphinx design, and really really good. Then also obviously the option to build your own strategy and also to build on top of other strategies. It is really cool. So we'll definitely be seeing a lot of exploration and degening around that, and definitely a very good DeFi structure. And really excited to how the future will look like for Haiko. And before we hand this very pleasant conversation, I would like to switch the focus towards the community, right? So what are you doing in terms of community building? I saw some points, leaderboards. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah. So the week before mainnet, we released a points system. So point systems are getting quite common nowadays. Some people like it, some people don't. Our point system is actually serving quite a specific purpose, and I guess I'm not sure if I'm able to announce it yet, but hopefully it'll be clear in the next 1 or 2 weeks why we need a point system at all, what exactly it tracks. But just to explain quickly how it works, the point system rewards traders and LPs who are coming to our platform. So on the LP side, whenever you earn fees on one of your positions, including any positions managed by strategy vaults, you will earn points. So I think it's 1-for-1 for every dollar earned. And then on the trader side, it's the same, but it's fees paid. So we reward both sides of the trade, so to say. In terms of the community, one thing I would really want to emphasize is the project is I guess the main USP of the project is strategies. And ultimately, we want strategies to be something that is built by and for the community. So community really is at the heart of this project. And so one, we really welcome users to try our product, developers to build strategies on top of Haiko. But two, we will be allocating more kind of incentives, bounties in the future, maybe even like a hackathon around strategies. to really build up interest in this platform and get more people thinking about strategies and using them. So that will be an important part of the community side. Secondly, I guess as we head towards the Stark token launch, everyone's looking for their e-beggar allocations. I know that's coming up. So we're going to do a few things around that as well. Again, engaging our community and rewarding them. So I would say, yeah, stay tuned, try out the platform, and stick around.
So you heard it, farmers. Let's get ready to play with Haiko as much as possible and enjoy the DeFi experience. So if you don't have anything more to add, Park, maybe I came out with an idea, something like shilling your own Discord channel, right? So guys, if you want to join the ICOS community, make sure to go to their Twitter account, and I will leave also all the links in the box description, in the description box, and make sure also to enter their Discord so that you can have also a juicy roles. And so Park, once again, thanks a lot for coming. It's been a wonderful talk about ICO. Really enjoyed it, and I wish you and all of your team great success with it, and also I wish you a very happy new Chinese year.
Awesome. Thanks, Nerstar. Yeah, happy Chinese New Year to you as well.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
Park. Thank you.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
man. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this interview with Park from the ICO team. I really had a great time yesterday as we recorded the episode, the interview, and I also played with ICO a little bit, and I found it very, very, very promising. So, let's also have a look at it and like them, follow them on Twitter, and enjoy their Discord channel. And who knows, maybe by playing with their protocol, you could also have the opportunity to farm their future token, as I think they made it clear that they're going to deploy it soon as well. So having said that, let's move to some of the most important news of the week that happened in the Starknet ecosystem. I go through them very, very quickly because, as I said, not feeling great. And so let's start with a couple of news related to, let me share the screen. So let's start with a couple of news related to Farcaster and the Farcaster's hackathon that happened last weekend, so 1 week ago. And so there was this I think global online hackathon, and developers could get some bounties and some prizes by building something on top of Farcaster's frames, which are a sort of extensions, something like MetaMask snaps, but for Farcaster, so a sort of extensions, on-chain extensions. And we had two very interesting experiments related to Starknet, such as this one from Jelila, who built an extension that allows you to connect your Farcaster profile to Starknet. Then we had also, these other experiments by Arsh Bajpai, who built an on-chain payment service on Farcaster frames, which runs on Starknet. So very, very cool. Then We also saw Argent introducing a boosting program in collaboration with Ecubo, and basically it consists in using Ecubo, the Ecubo's AMM, with their referral, and this will allow you to earn a 20% more points, while you're using Ecubo. Then a very interesting, initiative that was taken from Bravos a couple of days ago was this very original, let's say, security bounty that consisted in disclosing the 12 words of of a Bravos wallet containing $150K. But obviously, this wallet was protected by the hardware signer. So not by 3-factor authentication, but by 2-factor authentication using the hardware signer. So the bounty consisted in managing to crack the hardware signer, and obviously so far I think nobody managed to to crack it. But if you're a hacker, a white hat hacker, and you manage to crack the hardware signer, and you manage to to move the funds out of that wallet and to move the funds to your own wallets, they will let you keep them, and yeah. So let's have a look at that. If you're a security dev and kind of a very experienced hacker. Then we also had the zkLand lending protocol disclosing their a sneak peek of their airdrop page. So this means that the Zen token is not far, and they also stated that the snapshot has not been taken yet, so you can still have a chance to get some of their airdrop shares by playing with them. Who knows? And yeah. Then we also had another DeFi protocol, Stark DeFi. They also introduced their airdrop programs, the season 1 of their airdrop programs. And also only thus distributed the grant for the next 3 months. And yeah, they stated that some volunteers helped them choosing the projects that could be funded, and yeah, so they distributed these Starknet. Sorry, they distributed these grants. Obviously, Starknet tokens are not live. It's not live yet, but obviously this allocation will be distributed to those devs contributing to these open source projects, and you can learn more about it in the link that you'll find in the description box of this YouTube stream. And if you're listening to us, if you're watching us on Twitter, let's make sure to head to our YouTube channel, to follow us, to subscribe to it, and to have a look at the description box over there, where you will find all the links that we shared in this StarkStream. They are a bit this time they're not in an order, so you will find a bit of a mess there. But then as soon as I have time, I will make some order there. Then we also had the open build hackathon that happened last month. The winners were announced, and we saw some projects being getting the prices over there, and you can find out more about them in the link. As I said, I'm going very, very fast, and we can also have a look at today's recap. Let me see, because there were a lot of news that happened yesterday. So, for example, there was the announcements of the Cairo verifier being built between Starkware and Herodotus, and this is gonna play a very crucial role in the L3 infrastructure, and the Cairo verifier is coming soon. So, following a collaboration between Herodotus and Starkware, the Cairo verifier will enable the verification of Cairo proofs directly on Starknet. This means opening the door to layer 3 app chains on Starknet, verifying storage proofs verifying storage proofs will become cheaper and have reduced latencies. As a first test, the team already successfully verified a proof produced by the stone prover. Further optimizations are in the works. This is an important piece of infrastructure that will expand what can be built on Cairo and Starknets and will enable new Cairo Starknet L3s. Cool. So we also had, the Starknet Foundation and Starkware releasing the Starknet's roadmap for 2024. We mentioned that at the beginning of the stream, and we can see the different phases. January, which is ongoing. The Denkun related things. For example, here, this one, I think they updated it to March because obviously Denkun is probably happening in March. Obviously, many people manipulated the news saying, that is related to the Starknet token roadmap, but that has nothing to do with it. So it is possible that the token would come much earlier than that. And yeah. Then, as I said, Apple announced, his new position as a head of ecosystem, and Luis is gonna become the head of product, as far as I understood. And once again, best of luck to both of them. Then we also know, as I said earlier, there are all these projects. Many Starknet projects already preparing for the Starknet token avenue, as I said, the Nostra, and so on. Okay, now let's start a very brief Starknet gaming magazine that will begin it by also mentioning some NFT related news. Will fit NFT relevant news in the Starknet magazine. I think it makes sense. And Starknet, although they've been teasing for a while, they announced their NFT. Starknet is connected to Starknet ID, Starknet Quest, and they announced their generative art NFT collection, Starknet. And you can create your NFT choosing between different trades and then mint it. It is not live yet, if I'm right. But yeah, in the future, you'll be able to, also to integrate it with your Starknet ID profile, and it will become your PFP, your profile picture of your Starknet ID profile. As you can see here, your PFP visible everywhere. Okay, so another NFT related news, and I think somebody watching this will enjoy this news. The Ducks Everywhere collection resumed their auctions in collaboration with the Unframed marketplace. And I think 2 ducks were auctioned during this week. The first one was auctioned for I think, let's give a look at it. This was okay, so let me see. I think this was sold for here. No? Let's see. Yeah, I think it was sold for 1.5 ETH. Let's see. I like to see the moment it was bought, because here there are only the offers. Yeah, it was sold for 1.57. Here we have something, the creator of the Ducks Everywhere collection. Hey, my friend, congrats for the resuming of the auctions. And so this non-duck was sold for 1.57 ETH, and the second one, if I remember well, for 1.70, something like that. Which was which one was that? I think it was like let's give a look at their page. it was the Genie duck that was sold for 1.70. If I remember. Yes, 1.70 ETH. So they're the most popular collection on Starknet so far. QQ to the whole Starknet duck family. Then regarding NFTs, there's also like the Blobbert, this is sort of Square Blobbert NFT collection that is being mint, I think, at the end of the month. And they are related, they are using the blob space narratives. So they also produced an educational thread about Blobstream, Blob, EIP 4844, and so on. Yeah, then we also saw, this NFT being mint by being offered by the Cafe Cosmos game. And then related to gaming, more in the specific, we saw this very interesting article, long tweet article being written by our friend Web3Z, Jean-Paul from the Influence game, and he wrote it for Bankless, and he explained the bull case for Starknet Gaming. So if you haven't read it yet, please make sure to do it now. And yeah, then also speaking about Influence, there you can register for the pre-release phase. So their official mainnet is around the corner, and this game is very well made, and there's a lot of professionals working on it, and are really looking forward to being able to play with it, with the full operational version. And yeah. So guys, it's pretty much so for today. Once again, I apologize for shipping the recap, the StarkStream earlier than expected, and also forgive me if I wasn't feeling very well. So you won't see top quality, 100% top quality during the stream, but yeah, I hope I'm excused for this time. But having said that, I hope you enjoyed it whatsoever. And I wish you a great, Starknet weekend, and hopefully we'll see each other next week, and we'll have a great edition, I'm sure. So once again, thanks a lot, and see you next time. Take care, guys.